Hello Internet, I'm here at Geek Media Expo with the lovely
Briana from TheLadyNerd.
Briana is doing a very cool thing online. Will you tell us what The Lady Nerd is all about?
TheLadyNerd was originally my personal cosplay page that then turned into geek fashion when I started getting more into geek fashion. I'm actually in the middle of transitioning it into something new, which I'm wanting to start kind of a geek style consultant firm. But basically like being a geek style consultant or a geek personal stylist.
So the reason I wanted to sit down with Briana is that it's been a lot easier more recently to be a female in geek culture. And almost because of us, geek fashion has become a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the parts of geek fashion that's most accessible is creating your own fashion. If, for example, you don't want to cut a t-shirt up into a scarf, you can actually find a lot of resources online.
There's so many different places where you can get those sort of things now. I mean, there's still the t-shirts that you can find at so many places, Target, Walmart, Hot Topic, Forever 21. There's also a lot of really interesting geek fashion designers. I was not sponsored to say this, but I will do it anyway. The wonderful Catherine Elhofer from Elhofer Designs. She does amazing work in so many different fandoms. A lot of Star Wars love. This is actually a cardigan she just did of Rey from the end part of The Force Awakens. She's done so many different things, from Game of Thrones to Harry Potter, Avengers, you name it. There's something new coming out. She's got some new sweater line, dress line. She's a big one on the scene right now.
Absolutely.
And of course, the group that really started the move in geek fashion was Her Universe.
Yes, absolutely.
We grew up wearing t-shirts.
Yes.
Which were
I
not
still
for
have
women.
so many of them.
They're usually for guys that we've then altered to fit us.
The unisex
That word.
body types, man.
And then I think enough of us women were like, hey, can we have t-shirts that actually fit us? Because we're geeks too. But
Yeah.
actually have it fit us and not look like a sack.
Or the stretchy parts of our bodies. I have a Tron design from T-Fury that I loved because it was original Tron circling into new Tron, but because of my chest, that beautiful iconic circle of Tron turned into an oval and it kind of lost all effect, and I loved wearing it, but I also didn't love people being like, I don't get it, or trying to figure it out, staring at my chest.
Usually
and
those
I'm like,
designs are made for kind of a flat, almost male torso.
Right.
Or models who tend to also be flat-chested, so yeah.
It's really wonderful to be able to have more control over your own wardrobe.
Her Universe started with t-shirts and then moved into other casual and then started the Her Universe fashion show. There's also the other brands that came in, and although they're not my personal taste, they're very popular. You know, Living Dead Clothing and Gold Bubble and Black Milk do a lot of the printed leggings and the printed skater dresses, more kind of spandex. It's really neat also that we're in an environment right now in the geek community and in geek fashion where you can do everything now, from the printed super casual, wear it to a convention or wear it at home or wear it around your friends, to business, to formal, you know, and everywhere in between. So it's really interesting to see how far we've come in just a short amount of years, and then still where we're going.
And whether you are able to afford some of the high-end stuff or DIY it at home, YouTube is great for that. The thing that Briana was talking about on her panel is that there's kind of a hole for now the men. So what are some suggestions for the male geeks in your life?
Being open. I find actually like being in the cosplay world, it's really cool kind of watching guys' tastes start to evolve, you know, from just the t-shirts and polo shirts and button-ups to where they're finding, you know, oh, you can do a collar like this and that's actually cool, that makes me look like a badass, or you know, different types of coat lengths or Assassin's Creed type hoods or various things that are not in mainstream culture. The irony to me is that we started the whole geek fashion thing with the guys, like it's for boys and men in their t-shirts, and then the girls ran with it and the poor guys are getting left behind. So I think it also gives women a really interesting opportunity to kind of help the guys along and create this equal blend of, you know, fashion awesomeness for anybody.
I definitely think that the more people just mix it up, then the more people will feel comfortable being themselves, because you don't really need to box yourself in. And what you said, like being open is so important no matter who you are. And I just feel that, especially for people who don't feel comfortable in spaces because of this binary line in the sand, the more people are experimenting with both sides of fashion play, I feel that more people will be comfortable with it.
And I didn't know this until I started talking to more of my guy friends. With fashion, as women, we're allowed to experiment. We're allowed to do different things. Guys really aren't. Something that some of my guy friends were telling me, because I'm like, dude, why don't you wear something else besides just a t-shirt and jeans? Well, it's this almost like pack mentality that they've grown up with that's gotten beaten into them. Well, if you dress better, it's you. Who are you trying to be?
Right.
You're trying to be pretentious and more than we are. Or if you groom yourself, if you take care of yourself, you're gay. What do you mean? You're gay, aren't you? Like, you take care of your hair, you're gay. And even if they don't have a problem with gay guys, they don't necessarily want to become a target. And they're like, well, I'm not gay, but I don't want you to think I'm... And then it just creates this hostility.
Yeah. With the fashion world, what is most affordable to purchase? We're going to Target, we're going to the mall, we're going to Ross, TJ Maxx, or if you can't afford it, Express. H&M is super affordable.
Yes.
At the same time, like, the quality of those fabrics, if you think about what is being sold to us, the general public, you're not going to wear something that's not comfortable. You're certainly not going to experiment.
If it's not comfortable, it's out.
Yeah, I feel like because of the business world, you know, you were supposed to create this air of being perfect and in control, and you can step into the boardroom and go make $1 million.
Even though half the time I feel like some of the business stuff doesn't actually look that good. Like,
it doesn't.
The colored button-up shirts are all baggy and they're just not fitted right.
Right.
Fitting is a huge issue that I'm really glad that both men and women's fashion are starting to blend more towards and getting the slim fits and the tailored fits, because that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. No matter your body type. Another great part about where we are now is that you can just ask the internet, if this is my body type, what kind of lines will look good on my body, what will compliment me and make me feel good.
That's one of the things that I'm really wanting to do that in my next phase with the Lady Nerd, is that I want to do both one-on-one style consulting, but also like throw up guides and various things, which you can find on the internet right now on fashion sites, but I want, do it for geeks. What colors work for you? What lines work with your body type or your proportion, your skin color, your height, your eye color, and various things, because there's so many different factors that can go into it. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. So some of you might be guinea pigs.
Yes.
Just warning you.
Where do people find this awesome stuff online?
That's another great thing with Yield interwebs. You can find it in so many places. Now, of course, I like H&M, but that's because H&M is one of the few places I've found that has stuff that fits me. But I'm a tall, little, skinny model type, so yeah. But I also have found like a lot of my guy friends who are on the slimmer side go to H&M. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit with Hot Topic and Torrid because of the fabric qualities, but and I swear I'm not being pressured to say this. It's just because I love her. I'm gonna bring up Kathy Nelhofer again because if you can feel how thick that is. Like, I was really surprised because I also got her Black Widow cardigan. It's not thick as in like of obnoxiously thick, but it's just like I feel like when I pick this up, this is not gonna fall apart in the wash
or be see-through.
Yeah, or be see-through. and it fits great, but the quality of her fabrics, I don't know where she shops or where she gets them, but whatever you're doing, Katie, keep doing it. Her universe and Hot Topic can be hit and miss with quality of fabrics. I find some of the stuff can be just wonderful, and others not as much.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably with any brand. I would say Etsy is a great place for finding jewelry, especially anything handmade, and there's so many wonderful designers on Etsy that make things from every fandom. I like experimenting. I always go by character. But you know what? I'll just use this since I'm in a geek fashion closet cosplay, sort of, but not really. I got lucky with this because Elle Hopper Design just had this. I'll take the character and then I will analyze the costume and figuring out what the primary pieces are, what the primary shapes are, and the primary colors of what can make that look easily identifiable and recognizable. So if I'm walking on the street and I walk by somebody who's a Force Awakens fan, they go, oh my gosh, it's Rey. That's a Rey outfit. But to somebody who doesn't know Force Awakens, they're just like, that's a cool sweater. Where'd you get that? I've gone to so many fashion shows or corporate events or walking around on film sets for my day work, and I'll have stuff. I'll have either an entire outfit or I'll just have jewelry pieces. People are like, that's gorgeous. Where did you get that? And I'm like, I got it on Etsy. It's the doctor's name in Gallifreyan from Doctor Who.
But
you
it's
know,
a beautiful design.
And it doesn't look, and it's just these wonderful, beautiful gold and diamond circles that are right in that pattern. And there's all sorts of different levels from, like, obviously in your face, this is very obviously a BB-8 necklace. But then there's other ones, even just with BB-8, I think it was Paul Michael Jewelry, I think, did a really gorgeous BB-8 necklace that's just a simple silver, the 2 silver circles, and I think there's 1 orange gem in the middle. And it's just this beautiful, simplistic thing. You can start pulling those elements and, you know, just a white tank top out of my wardrobe, my green cargo shorts, and then because I have them, I have the screen accurate boots because I do the cosplay and I figure I have them anyway and they're super comfy. And there's just a regular outfit that I can just wear literally wherever.
I would definitely say it is better to make a choice on comfort rather than screen accuracy if you can get the idea across.
Oh yeah, for fashion?
For fashion.
Definitely. I'm just the weirdo that likes screen accuracy for my costumes. But fashion that's for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go screen accurate with the closet cosplays, like I know you Doctor Who players have got that down to an art form and a science. Same thing with you Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people. I'm going to need to come to you about Agent Simmons stuff. Just FYI. You know, and if you want to do that, like if you want to make sure like you get the screen accurate sweater that actress had, you know, if that's what you like, go for it. But I actually find it really fun to have restraint. The more restraints you have, the more creative you have to be to make it work. And so I find that can lead to some very interesting, you know, thrift finds. My
thrift find right here is actually a women's dress. But the fabric and the texture really remind me of Kylo, so I just cut it down the middle, sewed a straight seam, exaggerated the slits in the side, and then added a butt slit because he's got like a butt slit in his trench coat.
Because why not?
Because why not? And when I'm walking down the halls, I can feel
the butt
behind
slit?
me, and I'm like, that's what Adam Driver probably felt like while walking on the set of Star Wars. That like, look at my clothes, follow me. I'm that important.
But yeah,
like that's Kylo's costume is like this exaggerated, like, I am so important, y'all.
And that's good in like what I was talking before of analysis. So it's also character analysis goes into it, and that was another thing I'd left out. So thanks for bringing that up. But that's a really good point too. Like sometimes it's not just about the specific pieces, but the air of the character as well. And you can go into hair and makeup is another huge thing. Like this might be recognizable to some people as Rey, but to the mainstream everyday, if you got this going on, it's very recognizable. And also I love Rey because you don't actually have to wear makeup. It's awesome.
Where do we find you on the internet if we want to learn all this glorious stuff from you?
Thankfully I'm really easy to find. TheLadyNerd. I've got a website, I've got a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Find me on any of those. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on any of those. I may be running around like a crazy person because I work like 7 jobs, but I will always respond. And if not, I will respond with, I'm really busy, but I'll get back to you. If you don't hear from me in like 2 weeks, send me another reply because I may just have forgotten. Love you still.
Well, get your hustle on. So I will put all of that fun stuff in the doobly-doo below. Of course, all of my information is down in the doobly-doo below. If you've left a comment and on the way down, there's this lovely like and subscribe button if you want to stick around for more content like this. And until my next video, guys, DFTBA.